All right. Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Hi, it's Lorina and Kim again. We're doing a really fun video today. It's going to be in two parts because I got a lot of stuff here. And anyway, you can
Gadget
say
day.
whatever. What? Gadget
It's
Day. Yes.
it's
We're doing
fun.
gadgets. We're
We
doing
get
this. Go ahead.
oh no, we just get to see all the fun stuff
We're going to say,
Lorena has and me being oogle awing over it all.
I have, okay, this is just part my personality. I can't help it. I have to delve into these things. I have a lot of psychic technology gadget type of devices. And they are technologies and fun gadgets technologies. And anyway, so here I have four different things. And we can just go over them really quickly. I have the Dysonian glasses
Oh, okay.
or a very nice box. I have the mind to mind psychic system. Sorry, not doing a good job.
Oh, you can
There
see
you
it.
go.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then I have a neurophone. This is a neurophone. This is a Patrick Flanagan's neurophone, which are not made anymore. So that's probably, I'm sure, valuable. And I have this, the Omnip. I have more, but this is the basic. This is the OmniPemf, PEMF NeoRythm. This is what it looks like. So we're going to go over two of those things right now. But I wanted to show you the variety of everything I have. And Peanuts behind me, helping me.
At some
And
point he's gonna be wearing some of the gadgets, right?
yeah, here is directly behind me. Okay, so we're going to start with this Dysonian. It's Dysonian. Yeah, I'm just Sinian. Yeah, Dysonian. It's a weird name. Anyway, these goggles, these are Aura goggles. And this is the box. They come in very nice package
It's
box.
it's spelled a little
But
different than I thought. I'm glad you held the box up.
yeah, Dysonian. It's like Dysonian.
I
That's
am.
how you say it. I've been practicing. Anyway, they are Aura goggles. This is what they look like. Yeah.
Fun. Psychic.
Yes, very steampunk. And there is some instructions, a little template that comes with them. It's very nicely done. These come from a place called the Museum of Tarot. So it's Museum of Tarot.
Oh,
Yeah, interesting name. I think they're in Nashville, Tennessee. Anyway, these come from some guy named Dr. Kilner, created these about 100 years ago. And they do help you to see auras. Um, there are a lot of myths around these, like how much you will actually be able to see. Now, and it actually says in the pamphlet that you have to use them for 15 to 20 minutes a day. Now, I was watching another video and they said that you have to watch it for 30 to 40 minutes a day to actually put
okay.
them on, sit outside, don't stare at the sun, but to sit outside and just observe the light because it changes it. It's a really high saturation of color in these things. So you can't even see looking through them. If you use these in the dark, you would see very little. There's such a high concentration of color. And it makes everything this hot pink color, kind of purpley pink. And it makes some things look red. Anyway, and I'll put them on. What they look like. They're on pink.
So when you're looking through it, you're seeing pink and reds and
I have a light right here. I see pink and red. And if I
okay.
look at the windows, it's very pinky red. Like when I look at the windows where there is a light source coming in.
Okay.
And what happens with these is because I can't see very much at all. I see where there's light source.
Yeah.
It actually, because it's such a high concentration of this kind of pink, purpley color, it changes your vision as far as adapting. So there's like an over adaptation of your eyes shifting as you look through them so that so it changes how you see the color spectrum
Okay.
after a while. So the opposite of that color is probably a green color. So it's going to amp up the green tones, but it does change how you see, but you have to use it. It says for 20, depends on who you believe, or I'll just say 20 minutes a day for about 2 weeks. And that's when it will really start changing how your vision changes. And it's been a while since I played with them. I did wear them the last couple days, and it did seem to make colors more vibrant. When I looked at colors just in general in my life, in the view of what I see, it made things more vibrant. Now, when I had them on and I was sitting outside, you can see, have you ever, the Carillion photography?
Mhm.
Most people are aware of Carillion photography, where you
Yeah.
see the aura around like your fingertips, and you can actually see the little sparkles of light coming off of like your fingertips. And if you move your hands around like this, you'll start seeing energy moving between your fingertips.
Okay.
And now I have not, and my cat's making a lot of noise. I'm
Uh,
sorry. He wants to
Cute.
go outside. That's a let me outside. So what happens, what they say, the myths about them is how much stuff you're going to see if you own a pair of these. Like you're going to see like astral beings. And now I have not seen that. I have not worn them for 2 weeks in a row. And so it's my challenge now to do that.
That was going to be my
Um,
next question is, have you sat and done the 2 weeks when you bought it and then saw like,
I did not, because there were too many people around and I just didn't want to tell those people around what I was doing.
gotcha.
This is just my own thing. I don't want to share. It's just like me. Anyway, so I haven't done the full 2 weeks. And it takes a lot of patience to sit there and not do anything for 20 minutes, 2 weeks. That seems pretty doable, right?
Yeah.
So you should be able to do it. I'm sorry. I have animals all around me doing stuff and want to be part of what's going on.
So as you were talking, that's what my cat does too. Start talking and she comes out. But
And
so,
this is a dog. Peanut's like trying to crawl into my lap under a
oh,
blanket.
you can't see him. He's under there.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you would train your eyes and then
Uh,
2 weeks technically. And then, so the whole point of using those goggles is that you would then use it outside of having the goggles on later on,
yes.
right?
Yes. So what's supposed to happen is after using them for a certain amount of time, that it will actually help you see more as into the astral plane
Okay.
without them. It shifts your vision.
Gotcha.
And I wish I could say that I've worn them enough to have that happen. But I also have to say that I've seen into the astral plane without them. So I think that if you are very psychic, that you probably don't need to use them as much, because I could already see on the second day, I can see pinpoints of light. You
Mhm.
can see web of energy between the fingers, things like that. But I haven't seen beings show up when I've worn them. But I have just when I'm meditating. So, hey, go ahead.
Oh, it's supposed to help you with open-eyed visuals as opposed and does it help with, say, you're closing your eyes and reading? Do you know if it, like, helps with people, like so I close my eyes when I read. I wonder if it would bring on more visuals. I don't know.
I think that it would bring more visuals in general,
Okay.
because it does help you with your eyes open, which is actually more extraordinary than getting visuals with your eyes closed.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think they're definitely worth investigating. This pair, I think they were $200. Yeah, these were $200. They're not cheap. But I think the original ones that you can find on rare occasions are like thousands of dollars. That the original ones
Oh.
that were made by what's his name? Dr. Kilner.
Yeah.
But they're rare. They're very rare. And some people say that they're not made anymore, that you can't find a real pair of cyanin glasses.
Okay.
But from this Museum of Tarot guy, he's a scientist and a
Yeah.
researcher. He says they are real. So I think they're real. And it's pretty cool to wear them and just see what I haven't seen. And they say that you'll also be able to see like UFO craft in the sky, things like that. I haven't. I've seen UFO craft in the sky here in Phoenix
Mhm.
and in Sedona without them. But anyway, so people are comparing them to the night vision goggles, the green with those night vision goggles that cost like $3,000. It's just not the same thing. They do different things. It's not the same thing. This one, those night vision goggles, you're just going to see a different spectrum of visuals. And you can even record on a lot of those glasses, the more expensive ones, but those are like $3,000. These, it shifts your vision. Because of the color saturation, shifts your vision. So it's worth experimenting. And they're fun.
I feel like I've seen that. So maybe it's something completely different, but like on the few Ghost Hunters episode, I feel like they put some goggles on people, like, but I don't know if it was the same ones to see the ghost that's there. I don't know.
I think that those are probably the night vision goggles.
Okay.
Because these, if it's dark, if you're in an old haunted house, like at night exploring, you're not going to see anything with these on, because you're only going to see where the light source is happening, because it has such a high concentration of color that you can see very little in the dark. Very little. It's during the day. Yeah. But hey, they're fun to play with. Definitely a fun toy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think there might be a few other companies that make them, but this is the only one that I have seen, really, because I have explored. Anyway, it's fun. Museumoftarot.com.
How much do they cost, you think? I probably should have done a little research. A couple thousand?
These are 200. Oh, these ones are 200.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
For somebody that's on a budget that wants to get some tech, this could be something that's budget friendly.
Yeah, at least, some people will think that's ridiculous, and some people think, oh, that's not too bad as far as price goes.
But a couple thousand, unless you really, it's really good. Maybe, I don't know. I think you have something like that somewhere, maybe in part 2.
Yeah. Yes. And so what I have next is, this is called, and that's why I put these together. This is from the Museum of Tarot also. Sorry, there's so many. Museum of Tarot. And this is called the Mind to Mind Psychic Training System. Mind to Mind, I did write it down. Mind to Mind System, the psychic training device. And there's a 9-volt battery that goes in here. So it runs on a 9-volt battery. Okay. Now this is the funny part. And it comes this is a shower cap. Hold on.
I knew this was going to be fun. Look at this.
Woo! That looks good. Okay. And then you turn it on. And what happens is, there's a red blinking light right here. So this has a working battery in it. What happens is it sends a mild magnetic pulse around this area. So you really want it around here and around here. And what it does is, it actually does work. I've used this for remote viewing. And what it does is that magnetic pulse goes through your brain and shifts, take it off. It shifts now my hair is really flyweight. It shifts your actual mind, your brain, and it goes into this higher state of awareness. It absolutely works. All of this stuff is based on Michael Persinger's work with magnetic influence on the mind and being more psychic. This is what he studied. And comes from that study. He's written a couple books. I think that Persinger also, if I remember correctly, he was the one who discovered that Israeli guy who is a mind reader and a spoon bender, Uri Geller. Yeah.
Okay.
He taught. I think there's a book about Uri Geller that Michael Persinger.
Oh, it's funny. Yuri's with my dad's name.
Oh, and if I'm wrong, please don't yell at me in the comments. But anyway, so he did a lot of psychic research, and this device is kind of fun. Let's take this off. This is it. And you can also they have a kit where you can make this, where you can actually make this for yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For a lot less money. And if you're good with that sort of thing, I think it's about $60.
Okay.
To make it yourself, the device. This costs $300. And they make it. They make it there. It's not manufactured. They actually make it. It runs on magnetic pulses. It does make you more psychic. If you're doing any kind of psychic work, remote viewing, it will shift you. The thing is, the whole purpose with all of this stuff, what with some of this other stuff too, is it shifts your mind very rapidly into receiving and opening that kind of psychic doorway. It does work. I've done some remote viewing with it. I've done some psychic work with it. It absolutely works. I don't use it all the time. Anything all the time, but it absolutely works. And behind it is what you can do is, so you use this stuff enough that what can happen is that you're training your brain to go in that state more quickly
Yeah.
without the tools. Yeah. And it does work. And it's fun to play with these things. There is a more expensive version of this kind of technology, and it's called the God Helmet. The God Helmet.
Yeah.
And so you can get those. There's a God Helmet. I think there's also it's called a Shiva helmet.
Okay.
And look up like Shiva helmet, neuro technology, that type of thing. You will find that. The Shiva or the God Helmet, because I did research it a while ago. Those cost around $700.
Okay. Wow.
So it's a big difference. And it's like a band. There's a silicone type band that you put on your head, and there's these electrodes that are attached to it. And you turn it on, and they work. It works. It's all based on Michael Persinger's work, which is how to influence your mind to become more psychic.
Oh, wow.
And it does work. You go into that state much more quickly. In fact, sometimes if you do it too much, you're like, whoa, I need to come back to earth here. Yeah. But it absolutely works. All of these things work. Yeah.
So
You have
these
any
are
questions?
like almost tools that you would use to enhance your gifts and then it's not like you're using them, not that you, but other people should not be using them to be psychic as opposed to training themselves to be with these things.
Can you repeat that?
Hopefully I worded that. So basically these are tools to help you train to be more psychic versus relying on them to be psychic.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm already really psychic. So it just helps you to be more psychic, or just to turn it on more quickly is really it. Boom, it's on. Let's go. It really 1 or 2 minutes, it's on and you're going.
Yeah.
But it can be, you can overuse it and be in that state too much. And you're like, whoa, I need to come back to earth and feel my feet. And I had that on for just a moment. I can still feel it.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty quick. And some people say, oh, you shouldn't play around with those things because of that magnetic influence that you're putting into your mind, your brain. I don't know about that.
Think about how many things we're using right now to wireless, our cell phones.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not that as dangerous.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it really is cool to try them. In remote viewing, is it the ERV, which ERV is extended remote viewing, where you actually lay down and try to go into these trance states. This will put you into deeper trance states. Go into those deeper trance states to retrieve information. This will put you there really quickly, really quickly. Like they do something called the cool down, and the cool down to me that means that you're coming back.
Yeah.
But it's actually doesn't mean that. That means you're going down into a state. This will put you there really fast. But you can be in that world too long. They make movies about that stuff.
Oh, really?
What?
Was Inception that way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing where you go into these altered states. And those altered states, you actually can bilocate, leave your body. This can help you do that. Absolutely. And faster than you normally would. But you can be too long in the other world. It's balancing yourself. Which world am I living in? I got one foot in this world and I got one foot in this world. It can be a balancing game. And so you can spend too much time in the other world and lose it as far as what you're doing here. So that's funny because I can still feel that.
Do some readings right now. Just kidding.
Come back. Yeah. It does shift you. And it's also learning how to be and we do this in classes where you're learning how to be here and be there simultaneously and work out how you are in two worlds at the same time so you can retrieve information and bring it back. But
Yeah.
sometimes you go so far out there that it's hard to bring that information that you received here and cognize it and have it make sense because you can really go pretty far out.
I
Yeah.
wonder sometimes if that's what happens to people that are like schizophrenic. Not all, can't say everything's black or white, but I feel sometimes people have these gifts, but they're like, maybe there's so much trauma in their root or sacral, like their lower chakras, that they can't properly anchor it down.
That
And
makes
then
total sense.
it makes sense
Yeah.
of all the imagery and then the symbolism they get. And they're just, it's not making cohesive sense sometimes when they're sharing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's too much time on the other side. Yeah. It's just,
Can burn you
yeah.
out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll keep you posted. I'm going to do this every day for 2 weeks.
We should do that. So the next time we do this chat, we'll talk
Because I
about,
did it. Go ahead.
next time we do this chat, we should follow up with you on part 2 to see what the 2 weeks did for you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But I have to say, because I have seen on the astral plane without anything, just you don't have to have these tools. They're fun. They're really fun. They're fun to play with. And it can open that doorway much more quickly. But really, what really works, meditation,
Yeah.
breathwork can really, really rapidly put you on the other side. That the bridge between this world and that world, like really rapidly. So if you don't want to spend the money, you can definitely do that kind of work, breath work. I know remote viewers who do breath work to actually go into those states.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do 10, 20 minutes of like the Wim Hof breath work. You can do others. It's about the breath hold, the empty breath holds, and then the bringing the energy up, and the full breath holds, like going back and forth in those states will take you out of your body so that you can go remote view targets and bilocate. And that works. Yeah, it absolutely works. I've done it without even trying. I've talked about it on some of these videos.
It's got me to
Very
thinking about, isn't breath work, there's a lot we probably don't understand about how it works, but I do think I remember them saying part of it is that it builds up like access to your internal DMT. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Your own. Yeah. You're creating your own DMT. So you don't need to go buy some. I got a little.
You need to go smoke it or drink it, the Zenville.
Yeah.
It's in you.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's very accessible. Yeah. And
It's free.
Yeah, it's free. The supernatural guy, Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
Yeah. He uses that in his workshops. It's the breath work.
Yeah.
You can access supernatural states where you can access this information. But these devices go very instantaneous. But the other one doing the breath work is also really healthy. And monatomic gold and all those monatomic minerals, elements like platinum, rhodium, iridium, gold, those all will help you become more psychic too. Because I've played with those a lot too. They're expensive, but that's really fun too.
Yeah.
They work. They work. They all work. So have fun playing in the psychic realm.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the monatomic stuff more in depth too, because I think that stuff's really interesting for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It really works. It's pretty amazing. And that builds up in your system. So at some point you don't have to take as much. And the same thing, it builds up in your system so that you take less and less of it. But they are expensive. I'm trying to think of the company that I buy them from. It's $84 for the 2-ounce bottle.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And do you keep taking it for a few weeks, I think? Or how does that normally?
You just they say you're supposed to take a little bit every day and then it builds up in your system.
Yeah.
It works. At some point, you don't, I think that you take less and less as time goes on.
Mhm.
And it definitely works. The thing is about being psychic, you have to practice being psychic.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I sit in circles working on being psychic, or not working on, making yourself available to be in that realm so that the information comes. So that's really important too, that you're open to that. Because if you're just like, I'm doing all these things and I don't feel more psychic, you have to put yourself in a type of environment where you ask for that to come. Sit in a message circle or practice your psychic abilities so that you're calling them on. When you practice, that's when you start noticing it. And we're all psychic. We all have psychic abilities.
Absolutely.
It's a matter of noticing. So when you
Yeah.
start sitting in a circle or working in a class doing psychic work or mediumship work, that's the opportunity to play with it, to really call them up. And that's when you'll notice how much they work.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times we don't notice when we're just living life, because we're in our beta mind. Just,
Yeah.
you know,
We're not naturally accessing those other like brain
yeah.
waves, right? As opposed to if you start and I'll use Gerald's work because he's always trying to get you to understand, to put yourself in those states naturally, just with your own, like, asking to be there.
Yes, exactly. So you have to try and be there. That's the point. So you have to make those opportunities available to you so that you'll start noticing. And then they'll start showing up other ways randomly. But some people, they're not used to noticing. Yeah. Anyway, so you have to be in that state and go, okay, ready to be psychic. Let's go do this.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can do it myriad of ways. Like you can do mirror scrying, or however, if you don't want to work with a group, or crystal gazing, all of these things, but you're asking for them to show up for you. And that's when they show up. But you have to be in that state. So like remote viewing. So I'm going to start practice remote viewing. There's an app it's a remote viewing app. I forgot what it's called. You can look it up, where you can actually practice remote viewing every day to see how well you do.
Oh, they give you like a target, right? Every day there's a
Yeah.
target. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so you're practicing being psychic. So you can use these devices just to see what happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's fun. Try this. Try the mind to mind system. That can-
I'm such a do-it-yourself kind of person. I'm like, ooh, the $60 kit sounds really neat. Just because I like tinkering with
yeah.
stuff and putting it together.
Yep. Yep. You put it together. I looked at it and went, there's no way.
Oh,
I'm
really?
not doing that. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not that person. No.
I love the challenge.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I'm looking to see if I can see any beings in the room with me.
Let's see.
Really. Okay. That's funny. Let's see. I think I'm too distracted by talking, actually. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
This is too fun though.
Yeah. Anyway, this is $300. At some point I'll probably buy the $700 the God helmet, because that's intriguing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, not right now. Anyway, it's all fun.
Yeah.
It's an exploration, and I'm very much an explorer, and that's why I have these gadgets. And so next time we'll do the OmniPemf. This is a NeoRythem by OmniPemf. It's hard to say. And that absolutely works. And then the Neurophone by Patrick Flanagan, and this thing is rare now because he died. And so they don't even make these anymore.
Mm.
So pretty cool gadgets. Yeah. So anyway, fun stuff.
You won't
So
find this
definitely
stuff on Alibaba or Temu. What is it? Temu? Is it the two places?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to do this. I've already done it a couple of days. So I'll do 2 weeks altogether, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think it'd be really, if I had them, I would do it with you too. But
that would be fun.
yeah.
$200, but they're actually on back order. I think that you can't buy them right now because
Oh.
creating more because they make them themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Museumoftarot.com. Yeah.
Awesome.
You got to check out his stuff. He's got some really interesting research on his website about somebody's mirrors, about like time travel and mirror stuff. Yeah. That he's got a book on that, like that he's reprinted from this guy, this Russian guy. Time travel, mirror work. Anyway, that's some wild stuff. Check it out. Museumoftarot.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Russian guy, Cosma somebody. I'm
Oh.
sorry, I read it today. I'm like, not good with Russian, but it's definitely, he has a book on it. It looks really interesting about mirrors, these mirrors that you create to go to time travel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really, that is fascinating. Anyway, more stuff to research.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All
right.
right. I guess it's probably time for us to slide off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do part 2, all my other gadgets. And anyway, have a great week or day or whatever, everybody. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Like and subscribe. If you would like a private reading with Kimmie or Lorina, please find our individual websites listed below.